Hey guys, the Texan Hunter here, and today I am making a video to answer a viewer question. So, viewer Wrong Jack asked me a question about what I thought was the best rod for fishing for pike. Evidently, he's at that stage in the game and he wants the best rod available. And as rods and rigs go in Fishing Planet, obviously the different level that you are at is going to determine what equipment is available for you. So it's an impossible question to really ask, because what I can use at level 73 is going to be a lot different than what a person, say, who's at level 20 or level 25, what options are available to them. So it's really difficult to give it a one and all answer that covers everyone, and especially since there's different categories of rods. You know, the viewer did not ask for a spinning rod, casting rod, bottom rods, float rod, different rods. So I'm going to go assume that they're talking about a lure rod, and for my purposes, the spinning rods cover all of the lure options. I don't even really use casting rods anymore, just spinning rods, because they offer the best flexibility, at least in my opinion. And so what I've set up here for this video is 3 different spinning rod setups. The first one here is Rivertex Zeus 8'10" with the Ambusher 8500 reel. I've got 53-pound braid on there and 44-pound fluorocarbon leader. Now the reel is a 46-pound drag, and the rod is a 46-pound rod. Now the line is a little bit stronger than the actual rod and the reel, but that's okay because the leader is underneath the 46 pounds of the rod. Now, whenever you're setting up any rod, it doesn't matter whether it be a float rod, bottom rod, whatever, remember this, that rods cannot be repaired if you break them. If you break a reel, you can repair it, and obviously you can replace the lines if they break. But if you break a rod, you have to buy a new rod. There's no way to repair it. So look at the max poundage rod, which in this case is 46 pounds, and then make sure that at least one of these components, the leader, the line, or the reel, has a capacity that is lower than that, so you don't over drag it or max drag it and cause the rod to break. So if the leader was stronger than 46 pounds and I accidentally went to an over drag situation, it would snap the rod. So in this case, the leader would break before the rod, even though the reel is slightly stronger and the line is a little bit stronger. You can put a larger braid on there because braid is thinner and you can put a lot more line. Okay, so that's the basic setup here for slot number 1. Slot number 2 is the Thora 6'9", which is a 21-pound rod. So roughly about half as much as the Rivertex here. Okay, so we got, and then we've got the Line Glider 4000, which is a 22-pound reel. The Thora 9'6" is a 21-pound max rod. I've got 23-pound braid on there and a 20-pound leader. Okay, so again, the leader is going to be the weak point, and it's lower than the max poundage of the rod, so the rod will not break. Okay, for our third choice is the all-famous Jig Winner, and that is the video that the viewer Wrong Jack commented on, was the video that I made about setting up the Jig Winner rod, and I'll post a link to that in the description of the video so that if you want to watch that video. But basically, that video is titled, how to make the best rod in Fishing Planet. And even though a lot of people watch that video, they get it wrong. They think I'm saying the Jig Winner is the best rod. That's not what I'm saying. That video goes into a lot of what I'm explaining here, is what is the best way to build a good rod. That being said, the Jig Winner is a fantastic rod if you can get it, and I still use it even though I'm at level 73. So I have this setup, Jig Winner, the 8'10", with the Aspira MLR 3500, and with 13-pound braid and 15-pound leader, because they don't really have a 13-pound leader. But the rod is 13 pounds, and if you see here, okay, everything's kind of balanced out, so it's a real balanced system, even though the leader is a little bit heavy. the line is the same poundage as the rod. So never max drag this thing out. Just put it to the level below it, but it's a good rod. So I want to show you how these things perform and why I've chosen them. Okay, so let's go to the globe. We're going to go to the St. Croix here, and this is where a lot of pike are. This is where most people go to fish pike. There are pike in other lakes like White Moose Lake and stuff, but this is where most people go to fish pike. The best place to fish pike is over on the right in this little bayou back in here. And so it's a little cubby hole. So let's go ahead and jump into the boat here real quick, and we'll zoom on over there and get into some fishing. So walk over to the boat, get in the boat. All right, and let's get her on. So if you can walk over to this location, and there's generally a lot of people over there fishing for pike. A lot of people love to grind for pike in this location where I'm going. So we're just going to zoom around here. I'm in the boat that you get with the Congo package, and in my opinion, this is the best boat in the game because it is the only boat that has rod holders, and that I just kind of feel is wrong. That all the boats should have rod holders, but they don't. So slowing down here, come on. All right, so let me kind of get over here in between these two things. You can see I have a buoy over there and I have a buoy over here. Okay, so this is where you're going to catch pike, northern pike, and over here is where you're going to catch musky. These are the two best places on this lake to catch pike and musky. You can see them swimming, and you can see the pike jumping over here. Okay, so let's start with rod 1. Okay, and going to use the same lure, which is the X Series barbless spinner lure. The lure doesn't really matter in this. I'm just going to use the same one for each rod because I have them. You have to complete missions to get this particular lure. You can't buy it. I could switch the lure out, but I'm just going to use one because I have 3 of these. So it's a 1/2 ounce lure with a 3/0 hook, and we're just going to, let's see, I'll throw it right in there and see if I can't hook something on this. Now this, remember, this is the 46-pound rod. Okay. Come on. Just kind of doing a little stop and go action here. Oh, got it. Got it. Okay. And we see that got a pretty small pike for the first bite here. And so that's a 5-pound. Now, I didn't get a whole lot of XP on that because the rod is a little bit too big, but the important thing to know about northern pike is that they range in size from about 5 pounds all the way up to about 30 pounds. And so just because you catch a 5-pounder doesn't mean you'll always catch one. So let's go ahead and throw this back and keep that, and let's throw in there again to see if I can't catch a little bit bigger one. Because if you hook in the 30-pounder, it's going to be a little bit of different kind of a fight. And I don't really like the whole, giving you, penalizing you for using rods that are too big, especially when you're fishing for fish that have such a huge variable. Now look at this fish; it's giving me a little bit of fight. It's even taking some, it's a northern pike. The other one just came right in. This is maybe going to be about a 10-pounder. What is it? What do we got here? Okay. So a 9-pounder. Okay, that's still a pretty small pike. Okay, and 136 XP gain. I got a two red arrows on that as a punishment for using too strong of rod. It yanks out the small ones pretty good. Let's switch over to the 20-pound. And let's throw it in there, same exact lure. Got him. All right. Okay, this seems like a bigger fish here. It's taking out some line. But it's starting to come in here. Pretty good. And let's see what we got. So a 5-pounder, and even though this rod is half the power of the River Tex, we still got the 2 red arrows on here. So they're really wanting you to use a lighter rod. So it didn't really change that much. and it took a lot. There was a lot more fight to get this 5-pounder in than with the River Tex. So there was no advantage here as far as XP earned using the lighter rod over using the heavier rod. You're still getting the same penalty. Okay, let's see if we can't hook something bigger. I will say that in preparation for this video, I came over here and fished with this rod, and I hooked a unique northern pike. I think that was 39 pounds, almost a 40-pounder, and I fought it for a good 20 minutes to get in. I'm 20 minutes real time, my time. I thought I was never going to get that thing in on this rod here. So while it will catch the smaller ones pretty good, if you hook into a unique or even a trophy, you're going to be there for a while. Now, I did get green arrows, and I got a lot more XP for using the lighter rod for catching that unique, but man, it was a long fight. And I think probably the only reason I caught it was because it went over here into the there, and it just basically stayed there, and it couldn't go any further. Okay, I kind of pulled around here. That's okay. Come up here. It just got up in there, and it basically was running against the bank. It couldn't get away, but I could not stop it, even with the drag cranked up on this, and it just stayed out there for a long time. So let me try to catch one more on this, and there we go, got him. All right, so this one's taking some more drag. He's going to be about the same size as that last one, about 5 pounds. Okay, so still 80 XP. Now let's go ahead and switch over to the jig winner. Now this is a 13-pound rod. We'll chunk that in there. Same lure here. There we go. There he hit it. And look at him strip that line. So, you know, he's taking off. Okay. Then see if I can turn him around here. Come on. Okay, so we're gaining some ground. I can actually, with this boat, you can actually use the trolling motor while you're fighting a fish, so you can actually run a fish down. It's one reason like I said, I love the Congo boat. It's the only boat you can do this with, and it just helps you with it when you've got a lighter rod and a bigger fish. You can get it. You can kind of get that fish around there. Get him to turn around. Come on. Almost. See what we got here. Got him. So a 10-pounder. And I did get a lot more XP for using the smaller rod, but had I not had a boat that I could chase it down with a trolling motor, I probably would have had to fight this for a lot longer, but did get about triple the XP. The money doesn't change when you're using, you just lose XP for using a heavier rod. But obviously the 3 green arrows indicates that the game thinks that you should be using this rod to catch that size of fish. The problem with the northern pike, like I said, that was a 10-pounder, but you could catch almost a 40-pounder. I've caught a 39-pounder unique, and if you hook that on the jig winner, you know, you're never going to get it in, unless you do what I did, you know, chase it down. I had it up against the bank; it couldn't go anywhere. So that's kind of an exploit. If you want to do it that way, you can. All right, so now the thing is when you're fishing with pike, you might actually hook other things. So let's go over here and try to hook a musky, and these can get pretty big. I'm not going to use a jig winner because that's just kind of stupid. So we'll go back to the River Tex, and you know, they do not really like this. Let me see if I'll throw this in here. I don't think I've ever caught a musky on this spinner. I may have to change lures here, so let's see what we can do here. And the thing that, whoa, we had a bite. He hit it. Ooh, look at those. I wish you could see the fish when they have that little. Well, there's 2 bites, but not a. Right up in there where you see that marker, that's where you're going to catch the unique musky. And also the there's a mission, but if you want to catch the unique musky, that is right there where you're going to catch it. So I want to put on a different lure here and see if I can't get them to this 1/2 ounce trophy walker. Sometimes we'll pull them out. You gotta get this just right. There we go. Wow, a small one. What we got here? Oh, 6-pound tiger muskie. Now this trophy walker, you can get the different walkers. You don't need to use the trophy walker. Got it too far up in there. Oop, he hit. Come on now. Took a swing and a miss. There he is, got him. You see with this rod, you can pull them out pretty good. There's a 25-pound trophy muskie, and even though I pulled him right out fast, I didn't get any penalized. I got 532. I didn't get a bonus, but I didn't get penalized as there's no red arrows. So, all right. So now let's go ahead and use the Thora here. Maybe we can pull something out with it. It was good on the pike, so. There we go, got him. All right, now I went through several lures, and the X series barbless spinner seems to be the one that they're biting today. And I've got something on, and not really budging it a whole lot. You see, it gets kind of caught back in there. It can't really go anywhere. This one here coming in. Now, the last one was a 25-pounder. Come on. He's coming in. Let's see. This one's taking a bit to fight. We'll see what we can get here. $14-pounder now. Got 399 XP, 3 green arrows. The game really thought that this is the right size rod to use for the musky, which can get up there, I think, close to 60 pounds if you get a unique. But you saw how hard it was to get this fish in with this rod. So if you hooked a unique on it, just like with the northern pike, you're never going to get it in. So that basically shows you the 3 different rods that I recommend. And since the question was for pike, right? So this one would work good for pike, and I did get a unique on it, but it was really hard. It took a long time, and of course, if you're going to use one rod for both musky and pike, I'm going to say the winner is going to be the River Tex here, this rod setup. So let's go ahead. So this would be my choice if strictly for a spinning rod for pike and muskie, because even though you're going to get hit penalized as far as on your XP, you're going to be able to get the fish in faster than you would be with this rod, and especially with the jig winner. And so you'd be able to catch more fish that way. What I'm saying here is that this is going to be would be my rod, because it's going to be able to handle a unique northern pike quite easily. It's going to be able to handle a unique muskie. You will have to fight it, but you'll be able to get it in, because you saw like that 25 pounder. It didn't really give much of a fight there. So for those reasons, the River Tex, if you can get it, would be my choice for a rod for the northern pike and for the muskie. And let me give you some other examples of why I kind of like this rod. Okay, it's one of the few heavier spinning rods that I can actually cast a lighter lure. Okay, so let's go to my lightest lures here. We got Trophy Nano. Here's a Nano. It's a 1/5 ounce. Now, yes, it says it's too light, but I can actually cast it. Now, I can't cast it far, but I can cast it, about 60 feet, which in most cases is about as far as you need to cast things. And you can catch, that's one of the lightest lures in the game. And some other spinning rods you wouldn't be able to cast it more than a few feet, but you can cast it like 60 feet here. And so you could go somewhere. Let's find a different place here where there's some little fish. Okay, so here we are at this little buoy over here by the inlet, and cast it out here. Let it sink some. And let's just do a slow stop and go retrieve here. Oop, had it hit. And so you can catch white bass on it. So as far as an all-around flexible rod that can handle anything from small fish up and small lures up to tiger muskie, unique tiger muskie, the River Tex is going to be the rod that I'm going to choose for that. It is not a whole lot of fun. You don't get a lot of XP for catching these things, but man, I'm throwing a 1/5 ounce nano spinner with this 46-pound rod, and just catching these little fish. And not every spinning rod can do that. So, all right, guys. So there you have it. My choice for the best rod and reel setup for pike and muskie and a spinning rod. There's obviously different choices for float rods and bottom rods, but for a spinning rod, that it is the River Tex Zeus 810 with the Ambusher 8500. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and it's helped you out. If it has, please like, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, this is the Texan Hunter reminding you to always walk softly and carry a big gun.